All right, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, we have week 14, everything that you missed this week from any games. You didn't have time to watch it or you just weren't interested. This is what you come here for. Quick disclaimer, it is 2 in the morning. Starting off with Thursday's games, we had the Lions versus the Packers. This game was honestly just a great game. You had two very competitive teams, teams that are competing at the highest of levels. Packers going to this one at 8-4, Lions going in at this one 11-1, and there was examples of good defense. There was examples of great offense. Jared Goff, 3 passing touchdowns. And I gotta say, Josh Jacobs, 3 rushing touchdowns. Jordan Love struggled a bit getting the ball through the air, but they did enough. 31 points putting up. The Lions were just better. They were the better football team in this particular day and came through in the clutch when they needed to in the fourth quarter. Got the stops when they absolutely needed it. Tip your hats off to the Lions. Steelers and Browns, this one was not exciting this time around. Steelers were definitely just ahead the entire time, not having too much red zone struggles. Russell Wilson only 158 passing yards, but defensively, they just held it down. No points in the second quarter or the third quarter for the Browns. Phenomenal job and great bounce back from that loss 2 weeks ago against this Browns team, and without George Pickens too. So you got to tip your hat to the Steelers for that one. Saints and Giants, this game was literally a nothing burger. There's nothing to write home about. Drew Lock looked absolutely horrendous. The Saints offense struggled pretty hard. The running game, Alvin Kamara, 17 carries but only 44 rushing yards, only 219 passing yards from Derek Carr against a Giants team that has not been good. And then Drew Lock, 21 for 49. Just horrible. He looked terrible. Every bit terrible. Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins taking a must-win game. Quite literally just a must-win game. They could not afford to lose. Had they lost, they would have moved to 5-8. Their season would be over, honestly. Take a much-needed win, go to 6-7. Put themselves in a position where they still can win. Aaron Rodgers missed some throws, but first game in forever where he got 300-plus passing yards. This Dolphins defense looked abysmal, but they figured it out in the end. Tua and co. getting that overtime game-winning drive. Great drive, by the way. Jonnu Smith just really taking over. Hats off to the Dolphins in a must-win game. Jaguars and Titans, this one was boring. This one sucked. This one was everything you don't want to see in a football game. Just terrible offense, to be honest with you. And Jacksonville were down 6-0 going into the fourth, and they scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. Mac Jones, 2 interceptions. On the flip side, Will Levis, only 168 passing yards. Tony Pollard with the efficient run game on 102 rushing yards. But this game was just so much nothingness going on. Bad football being played through and through. But what can you say? This is kind of what you come to expect with these two teams, and I wouldn't be surprised if most people did not tune into this one. I was one of the few that did. I watch several games at once, put games on my tablet, put games on my TV, and if I have to, also on my phone. Pretty rare that I have to do all 3, but I watch all games, have to, for these kind of videos. Falcons and Vikings, well, Kirk Cousins certainly has regressed, and regressed in a huge way. 8 interceptions in the last 4 games and no passing touchdowns is a horrible stat. It is a stat that you just never, ever, ever want to hear or see, especially from a quarterback who you're paying so much money. They are paying Kirk Cousins so much money. Falcons lose 4 in a row. Vikings, Sam Darnold, 5 passing touchdowns. And Jordan Addison, 3 receiving touchdowns, 8 catches, 133 yards. Justin Jefferson, same thing except 2 touchdowns. I mean, just phenomenal. On one of the plays in particular, Justin Jefferson had a 52-yard receiving touchdown, and his defender just completely did not know where Justin was. One of the worst defensive plays I've ever seen in my life. Panthers and Eagles. Eagles, gotta say, they are just on a run, but I can't say enough about Bryce Young and his improvements. It's honestly just unreal. He gave this team every chance to win the game. Game-winning throw to Xavier, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Legette, just drops it for a game-winning touchdown. Granted, the Eagles would still have like 40 seconds, but absolute blunder on that receiver. But Bryce Young has just looked so good and so promising. And it's like, wow, the turnaround for this guy is nothing short of an accomplishment. And he seems like such a good dude, a humble dude, someone who I think pretty much everyone can really just cheer for him. He really seems like a good guy. So I really respect what's going on over there in Carolina. Big win for the Eagles, though, and just securing that playoff spot. Raiders and Buccaneers. I mean, this Raiders team is just really just bad. Really, really, really bad. Aiden O'Connell goes down. Season-ending injury. Not a whole lot to this one. Baker Mayfield did have 3 passing touchdowns, but two interceptions that were not pretty. But must-win games from the Buccaneers, and they're winning. And they're well on their way because Falcons have been struggling, so big time for the Buccaneers to take this one. Seahawks and Cardinals. I don't understand what the Cardinals do in the red zone, but the play calling is just abysmal, and it shows. It looks horrible. Seahawks, this game, they needed this game to really secure their spot versus the Cardinals. Of course, you still have to worry about the 49ers and the Rams, but now they own the tiebreaker against the Cardinals. That was huge. Cardinals would have to have a massive run to really even give themselves a chance. This loss puts the Cardinals at such a massive disadvantage. Huge win for the Seahawks, though. Geno Smith looked locked in. Zach Charbonnet played freaking amazing. Amazing game from Zach Charbonnet, but Geno Smith did look locked in and poised, ready to go. 24 for 30, only 233 passing yards, but just a very efficient outing from him. Kyler Murray had a rough outing, 2 interceptions. He in this kind of game with the spotlight on him, got to play better than that. But like I said, the play calling was abysmal in the red zone. 49ers destroy the Bears. There's one thing that Matt Eberflus brought to the table is a really good defense. The Bears defense was never this bad where they're doing this horrible. Matt Eberflus always had his defense on point most of the time. And yeah, you fire him. Of course, he deserves to be fired, but he's still going to have a defensive coordinator position in the future because he can coach up a defense. It's the rest that he can't do. But you saw it on this one. Bears defense got obliterated. Offensively just couldn't do anything to a depleted 49ers team, period. Horrible looking loss for the Bears. Huge win for the 49ers to keep them in contention and to keep them fighting for that playoff spot. Rams and Bills. The Rams just looked amazing offensively. Now, obviously, the defense is a concern when you're allowing 42 to the Bills. But the fact that the Bills had no answer for the Rams, I mean, Kyren Williams, good game. Puka Nacua, godlike game. Matthew Stafford, good game. It's just, you can't make this up. And I know you see 29 carries and only 87 rushing yards, but Kyren Williams really just was out there fighting for every freaking yard. And he, with that many carries, he just didn't give up. And you got to give credit. Like, that's a lot of touches. Kept fighting, but Puka Nacua, 12 catches, 162 receiving yards, and a touchdown. And he made some impressive catches. One in particular on the sideline, it was unreal. Tom Brady was even like, oh my gosh, what a play. Josh Allen having the most points scored ever for a quarterback. I'd imagine a player as well, but I know it's quarterback. And wow, just a very high scoring affair to say the least. Big win for the Rams, though. They proved that they are to be taken seriously. Moving on to the next game, we had the Chargers and the Chiefs. And I told my brother as the game was going on and the Chargers were up, I told him, no matter what, the Chiefs always find a way. They will always find a way to win a goddamn football game, even if they're down and it looks like they could lose. The plot armor on this team is insane. Somehow, some way, they will always find a way. And of course they did, because Patrick Mahomes in a game-winning drive, he don't miss. He just don't miss. 19-17, big win for the Chiefs. Reason why? You're beating a Chargers team that is dying to take that spot. Had they lost, it would have been 11-2. Chargers would have been 9-4. Chiefs would have had to be more competitive as the season went on during these final weeks just to secure the spot. Obviously, it'd be very unlikely that they drop it, but with this win, it's in the bag. They got it. They got the tiebreaker against the Chargers, and they're 4 games ahead. Chiefs are going to win this division now. And then your Monday night game. I'm a Cowboy fan. Most of you that are subscribed know that. to lose the game and the way that the Cowboys did is just like such a Cowboys thing. I know that sounds dumb, but seriously, like, you just can't make it up, dude. You really can't. A blocked punt and our player touches it and the Bengals recover. Like, I hate putting energy into this game. Really solid game from CeeDee Lamb. Really, really solid game from Rico Dowdle. Cooper Rush missed some throws, made some throws. To lose in this fashion, but Jamar Chase, 14 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, of course, had a great game. I'm at a loss for words at this point, man. Like, it's 2:10 in the morning, and I'm just like, my brain is just like, I can't even put into words how frustrated I am with this team. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy for this shit right now. Seriously, like, my brain is like, bro, enough is enough. Go to sleep. Stop talking about football. Stop thinking about football. I've been thinking about football way too long. My fantasy team was fighting for their lives during this game. Some quick injury reminders, some injury news. Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL on the same knee he did in college, so that is just a heartbreaker. Derek Carr looks like he's going to be out for the season. That's another tough one. Like I said, Aiden O'Connell is going to be out for the season. Another tough one. Just tough time, honestly, for a lot of these teams and these injuries. They just keep piling on, and a lot of wide receiver drama. AJ Brown, wide receiver drama, because Brandon Graham talked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts, between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. They're not best friends anymore, according to Brandon Graham. So wide receiver drama there. And then Deebo Samuel also tweeting about not getting the ball. More wide receiver drama over there. It's an interesting time. But anyway, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. As you can see, and I apologize, my energy level is just down. It's really late. I gotta find time to record these videos. I've just been more busy lately, but here I am finding time. I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about week 14. And I will see you for week 15, and hopefully not record this late. I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. Like I said, this is I'll Even Different. And we out.